Episode 10, Consulting. Hi everyone, welcome back to today's lesson on consulting. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Jodi, a New York City fashion photographer with over 20 years experience. This is episode 10, sadly the last episode in the Jodi Jones series teaching you how to make money at home in photography. This series aims to give fellow photographers outside the box tips and strategies on how to continue working from home. In today's lesson, we will explore ways you can put your skill set and know-how in photography to great use by taking on some consulting work from home. There are two main areas of consultancy that we're going to talk about today. Each requires a different set of skills, and it'll be up to you to determine which you are best suited to. The first one is to the business client. Large businesses and firms often have their own in-house photography and creative systems. As such, they may need assistance in setting up with suitable equipment, software, and staff training, as well as ongoing assistance and support. Let me give you an example. I was doing a workshop where I had a range of students from all over the world, and one of my students was a creative director, and he worked at Zappos. After our workshop, he realized that his company could really utilize the services of having me as a consultant to that organization. Even though he was the photographer, having another photographer that could look at the big picture and recommend what kind of photography gear they should get, instruct on lighting, and how they can really have a good workflow, that was something that I could offer to them. So there's a lot of opportunities for you working with big brands with the skill set that you have, helping their in-house photographer. The great thing is that this is something that can actually be done remotely from home, via phone calls, emails, and conference Zoom type video meetings. The client will probably want to know from you, the professional, what options they have and the feasibility and cost of each of the options. You need to draw on your knowledge of setting up your own photography business in order to really guide your client. Help your client create a strategy and budget list for them to be able to reach their goals. Most businesses know they need really high quality photography and marketing materials, but they don't know where to start. This is where there's a unique opportunity to use your knowledge in a different way than physically doing the photography. You may even be able to provide insight into a creative project or marketing project. Your client may have enlisted the services of other consultants to perhaps design a campaign, but they need an artist's eye in order to really fine-tune it to its best, most presentable form. For businesses who already have completed their photography, there's a chance that you can offer your services in a more qualitative manner. Image processing and editing of the final product will turn their average campaign into a real head turner. Offer to instruct their staff on the proper use of images, legally obtaining stock photos, and how to embed them into content material. Ongoing management of digital assets for a brand may be a really great way to create an ongoing revenue stream after the initial consultancy. Let me give you an example in my own personal work. During COVID-19, being in quarantine, I was not able to do any fashion photo shoots. So rather than just say, I can't work and I'm going to need to make unemployment, I was able to say, how can I use the skill set that I already have to make money? One of the ways that I used, and I'm using today, is to be able to offer my services as an art director. As someone who can design ads based on existing images that the brand has. Some of these images are pictures that I've taken in the past. Other images are ones that I source out from stock libraries. But the great thing is that I could work with the brand from home and just do some creative work in helping them market. The great thing about photography is we have a certain eye that a lot of businesses, they don't know the creative aspect. So the great thing as a photographer is you have a special gift that you can offer, and it doesn't just have to be actually snapping a photo. Now, another area that you can look at your consultancy is with other photographers. I call them the photographer client. Do you remember what it was like when you first started out working in photography? It must have felt a bit intimidating and very daunting making the move from amateur to actually earning professional. I bet you learned a thing or two. As humans, we learn from our mistakes in order to have success in reaching our goals. You have the ability to offer paid mentorship to budding artists at the very start of their careers. Money invested in yourself is never money wasted, and less experienced artists will see the value in learning the ropes, so to speak, from someone with a wealth of experience in the photographic arts. Your past failures and successes and your hard lessons learned are not just memories. They are ways to turn your past into currency in the form of a revenue stream and consultancy. Help aspiring photographers stand out from the crowd by critiquing their portfolios. Can they use light in a better way? Does the composition and makeup within the photographs work? Are they lacking creativity in the shot? How about the overall presentation of the portfolio? Should they include different images or incorporate them in a different way? As a photographer, you earn a living based on how good the end product is, and it is a tough career. Career development is much faster when there are planned milestones and careful thought put into when and how to progress. Everyone is different. Work to the strength of your protege to help them reach the pinnacle of their success. Let me give you an example of something that I've done. I have been mentoring photographers at different levels throughout their career. I work with people who just get out of photography school. I work with people who just have the dream of being a photographer. And I work with people who have $50,000 cameras. So there is a lot of skills that you have, I'm sure, as a photographer that you can teach someone else. You don't have to know everything. You just have to know something that the other person doesn't know. An example is, I had a great photographer that I was working with who was a doctor, and he bought this expensive camera and really didn't know how to use it. So I was able to really mentor him in creating his first portfolio. I've enjoyed really working with photographers around the world. In fact, I have a photographer on the other side of the world who will reach out to me about art directing photo shoots. As he's building his portfolio, he needs somebody who has the experience in casting models, in choosing hair and makeup, coming up with concepts, and really art directing the shoot. Because so much more goes into it than just lighting and what kind of lens you should use. There's so much creativity involved that you can offer others. Now let's talk about where to advertise your services. To really get your message out there to the world, have accounts on multiple websites that sell services is very helpful. For starters, you could try something like Fiverr, Upwork, and Freelancer.com. What you want to do is make a profile and put in lots of energy and make a clear effort to display your skills at work. You should also have a page on your very own website that offers this service. Clients will hire you based on a few factors, though. Do they see value in paying for your skills and advice? That's where it comes in. You have to show them what you can do. Do you have the experience needed? Your profile must be clear, concise, and engaging, and informative. For business clients, it really pays to also do your own research and look at the brand's websites. Does their website look old and outdated? If so, approach them with the offer to freshen things up. Don't underestimate the benefit of contacting professional photographic consulting firms. It's true that firms have permanent employees, but they also hire freelance based on work volume. Don't underestimate the benefit of even contacting ad agencies. It's true, these agencies have permanent employees, but they also hire freelancers based on particular projects. Do you have any artistic or creative skills, even technical skills, where you could enter the world of corporate consultancy? Or perhaps you're better suited to more a one-on-one mentorship approach. Years of experience may enable you to generate a real additional income in consultancy. You may even be surprised that you'll make more money doing that. I have an assignment for you. The assignment for this week is for you to dissect your skills in the photographic arts into its base components. Quantify them into a list so that what you have learned during your career is in front of you in simple terms. From here, think about entering the field of consultancy and which avenue of consultancy is the best for you. Let's get the ball rolling by developing advertisements for yourself on professional service websites. And make sure that you actually put a page together on your very own website that shows that you offer this service. The team here at Jodi Jones Studio hopes that today's lesson prompts you to consider sharing your knowledge and experience to be able to make additional income from home with your photography. If you haven't already, please refer back to our previous videos in this series. Although this does conclude our Making Money from Home series, we absolutely will be back with much more video content in the near future, so stay tuned.